Hi everybody, and thank you for dropping in on our TNT for Monday, sort of back to the future with our daily 15 to 20 minute news program. Then on, oh hello Dina, nice to see you. She's dropped in as well. With our hour-long program on Saturdays and Sundays, that'll be with Nick and also some other guests like yesterday, and that'll be with you, your comments, and hopefully soon talkback where you can call us in on the program. Anyway, Kat's happy, I'm happy, hopefully you're happy. Let's get stuck into the program. And we start with a bit of a follow-up to the conversation we had yesterday. And that conversation was about Russian people coming to Thailand. It was entitled Russian Roulette, and with the Thai government inviting a lot of these Russian people to come and tour here and even to stay here, and the potential problems that that is now starting to cause, especially with immigration. But we just go a little bit further afield to South Korea, and Mint reports that only one meal a day. 5 men have been living in an airport for over 5 months. In a real-life version of the movie Terminal, 5 men have been living in an airport for the past 5 months, surviving on 1 meal a day. All the men who have been living in South Korea's Incheon International Airport, that's at Seoul, are Russian and fled the country after Moscow's military mobilization early in September last year. However, South Korea's Ministry of Justice is dismissing their application to enter the country, citing that refusal of conscription was not a reason for refugee recognition. The men can shower, but they have to wash their clothes by hand and are unable to leave the departure and duty-free areas. The article goes on, apparently partial mobilization of Russian citizens to fight against Ukraine led to angry protests and prompted a mass exodus. Many even tried to flee the country. According to a CNN, more than 200,000 people have fled Russia for Georgia, Kazakhstan and the EU in the first week. That's after September last year. In Russia, men up to the age of 60 with no criminal record are eligible for military conscription. Only those convicted of sex crimes against minors, treasons, spying or terrorism are exempted from conscription. And rights groups have called on the South Korean government to accept the men as refugees. Those who apply for refugee status upon escaping political and religious persecution from their home countries have rights to protection under international law. And that they're a statement from a South Korean rights advocacy group. Not only a problem, of course, for Russian people fleeing their country, but of course for Ukrainian people who may be seeking refugee status around the world. There's a link to yesterday's program where we spoke to Ivan, a young Russian man who's been living in Thailand for 9 years, and that's in the description of this video. Well, we should thank 5 Star Marine for their ongoing support of the program. Went to have a look at their new Lisa boat yesterday. Very nice boat indeed. And 5 Star Marine, if you're heading down to the southern island of Phuket, you'd like to head out for a day tour. You're watching TNT. You're watching TNT on a Monday, and let's go to 2 stories that were leading the headlines last week. New probes for bribe VIP trip sagas. The National Police Chief yesterday ordered a committee to be set up to probe 4 police officers who ordered an unauthorised very VIP service to a Chinese tourist. A committee being set up suggests to me that probably absolutely nothing is going to happen. And yesterday the police chief ordered a further disciplinary committee assess the severity of penalties necessary following the incident and passed the case onto the Suvarnabhumi Airport Police Station for criminal prosecution. They're taking it very seriously indeed. The Police General also issued a notice on January the 17th giving the Royal Thai Police Legal Research Committee 2 weeks to amend current guidelines to ensure there can be no incidents of a similar nature in the future. Just very briefly, there were advertised on Chinese social media some short track services so you could get through immigration and have a police escort to, well, wherever your accommodation was. In this particular case, she was staying in Pattaya, some 2 hours away from Suvarnabhumi Airport. Now, at the time, people were saying, well, why was she given special treatment? But then, of course, many people found that there were plenty of these services being offered. How were they being offered? Who were they being offered by? Who were getting kickbacks? Was it police? And that's what this investigation is about. The Royal Thai Police Chief is adamant that stricter rules be put in place to rein in wayward officers who abuse their authorities. Meanwhile, in the second paragraph, officers from the Metropolitan Police will travel to Taiwan to collect more evidence in the case regarding the Taiwanese actress who claimed that police extorted 27,000 baht from her. That story is about 4 Taiwanese ladies who were partying on New Year's Eve, being pulled up along the Ratchadapisek Road, strangely just outside the Chinese embassy, and she claimed she was shaken down for 27,000 baht. But since then, the police have released selected segments of CCTV footage that doesn't suggest that she was shaken down at all. But of course, her video that the Taiwanese actress shot was deleted, forced deleted by police from her phone and her friends' phones. So it's a difficult situation about exactly who is going to be believed on this. The Taiwanese actress, identified as Charlene Ann, posted details of the alleged extortion on the Thai Facebook page Ni Hao Taiwan, sparking heated online chatter over the weekend. Well, not only on the weekend, all last week as well. The Metropolitan Police say the Royal Thai Police's Foreign Affairs Division will coordinate with the actress and 4 of her friends in Taiwan, as the evidence police obtained so far does not confirm any wrongdoing. According to police, the Metropolitan Police Bureau has identified the 3 acquaintances she was with at the time and is now contacting them individually to arrange police interviews. Now, the police have also claimed that they've spoken to the van driver, but they've only given him a single name, not actually identified him with a photo, so he hasn't been ID'd, but they claim that he said that they were all drunk at the time. So it's a bit of a he says, she says, nobody really knows, and the police only releasing selected bits of CCTV that really doesn't provide any strong evidence for them either. So those 2 particular stories will continue to simmer along as those investigations continue. Let's go to our next story today, and from Thai PBS World, Sutasan pub raid by police is a flop. Well, the thing is, they raided the pub, I suppose, with high intentions of finding some wrongdoing, but they came up short. Police and army officers raided a hotel-based pub in Bangkok's Sutasan area on Saturday night, but they found nothing illegal. The third paragraph, the officials checked a pub inside the hotel and found it busy. And they checked their passports, the ID cards, found none were under 20. Urine tests for drugs all showed negative results, and no unused illegal narcotics were found. The 5th paragraph down there, dice were found in the pub. Okay, here we go. But they were used to play games among groups of drinkers, assumedly for playing snakes and ladders or something. Some small plastic bags and straws were found in a few drawers, but there were no traces of illicit drugs. So clearly here is a case of the police being tipped off of going to have a raid on that pub, but then somebody tipped off the people at the pub. Well, it sounds like they cleaned up their act before the police got there. So a bit of a story about nothing in particular. Let's go to the next story today. And from the Bangkok Post, China-Laos-Thailand rail link plans up for talks. And Thailand and Laos are in talks about the potential of a Chinese-Laos railway link, which could reduce cargo transport costs by 30 to 50% in 3 to 5 years. Now, this is all a bit of an extension of the whole Chinese high-speed rail network that at some stage will probably go all the way from Beijing down to Singapore. But all the Chinese part of it's built, the Lao part of that's built, and now they're in the process of constructing a high-speed railway, initially from Bangkok to Nakhon Ratchasima, but now it looks like they're trying to fast-track the part from Nakhon Ratchasima up to Nong Khai on the border with the Vientiane, Laos, and the idea being that they're going to be using this high-speed rail link to further exports from China into Thailand and vice versa. The high-speed rail network will be developed alongside current infrastructure and benefit both Thailand and neighbouring countries. The government said the export and import trade value at the Thai-Lao border checkpoint in Nong Khai province in 2022 is worth 99 billion baht. Despite the pandemic, border trade still grew in 2022 with an increase of nearly 40%. And let's go to the next page. This is by the Bangkok Post. The Thailand-Lao rail network will operate 14 trains daily, and it's hoped that it will attract more investment from Laos and monetize the adjacent commercial area in Vientiane. Then they thought they'd say it again. The network will operate 14 trains daily, with more investment likely to follow. So the Thai government looking forward to reap some benefits from the high-speed rail network that certainly helped in Laos with their export from China in both directions, of course, and now Thailand hoping to do the same. But that's at least 4 or 5 years off before that project will be completed. You're watching TNT. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you get a moment. There should be a button down there if you're on a mobile, an iPad, or a desktop. If you're on the TV, you're going to have to hop onto a desktop to subscribe to our channel. No cost. And of course, we're not going to send you emails or anything, but it really does help the channel. This is TNT on a Monday. Thanks for joining us. And yes, we're doing our 15 to 20 minute news programs from Monday to Friday now. Saturdays and Sundays will be our 1 hour programs, chats with you, your comments, and also hopefully very soon your opportunity to call us with talkback. Oh, that's going to be fun. All right, so let's get into our next story. This one from the Bangkok Post, and it reports that the Federation of Thai Industries estimates motorcycle production will grow by 4% year on year to 2.1 million units. Now, the spokesman says that Thailand's economy will continue to recover, driven by tourism and the positive impact of China reopening. These factors will help boost motorcycle purchases. Interesting reasons for increasing motorcycle purchases. I would have thought better roads or changes to the taxation system or new models of motorcycles might have increased motorcycle purchases, not just the arrival of Chinese tourists. Anyway, we plunge on. It says the scheduled general election this year should also boost economic activities, which is good for the domestic motorcycle market. Again, I'm not really sure why a general election should spur on the sales of motorcycles, but this is the spokesperson from Honda speaking here. The FTI expects motorcycle manufacturing for the domestic market to tally 1.75 million units, accounting for 83% of total production. The remaining 350,000 units will be for export. And last year, Honda sales increased by 12% year on year to 1.38 million units, driven by sales of Honda Scoopy in the automatic segment. The Honda Scoopy, a bit more of a sort of a female-focused small motorbike, or scooter as we call it, about 125cc engine, and noting that Honda motorbikes are by far the most popular brand here in Thailand. To our next story, and this is a bit sad. A Swede dies in road accident after first meeting with a Thai girlfriend. The Bangkok Post goes on to report that a Swedish man died instantly when his motorcycle plunged into a roadside ditch days after his first meeting with the Thai girlfriend he met online. This happened up in Roi Et, up in far northeast Thailand. The 50-year-old man was found dead in the ditch on the Suvarnabhumi Bandong Mai Road. And down the bottom there, they found the man lying in the ditch with a broken neck and a deep gash in his right thigh. The motorcycle he rode was heavily damaged. It apparently hit a concrete sewer pipe. And the man's heartbroken 27-year-old girlfriend, a native of Suvarnabhumi district, said she'd met the Swedish man online 2 years ago and had been keeping in touch with him. The man had just taken leave from his work to visit Thailand. They met in person for the first time only 5 days ago and had decided to get married. The Swedish man was staying at the woman's house. The relatives were aware of the relationship. After lunch on Saturday, the man told her he'd like to ride a motorcycle to take pictures of the local area, and she warned him to ride safely. shortly afterwards she learned about the fatal accident that happened about 6 kilometres from the village. All a bit of a sad story, only met her 5 days before. Now, our next story is a bit of a follow-up to a quick story I did about 2 weeks ago about ChatGPT and Thailand, throwing ChatGPT, this new chatbot, AI, artificial intelligence chatbot, through a few tasks about Thailand to see what it knew. We thought it did fairly well. Again, I'll put a link in the description in this video if you'd like to check out ChatGPT versus Thailand. But just some interesting statistics about ChatGPT. It outpaces Instagram, 10 million users in just 40 days. In that first paragraph in the story, OpenAI's powerful artificial intelligence language model has surpassed 10 million daily users in just 40 days, outpacing popular Instagram's initial rapid growth. Instagram took 355 days to get to 10 million registered users, says the story. The AI-operated model's potential applications are virtually limitless, and its popularity will grow as more researchers and developers become aware of it, as per technology pundits. So ChatGPT, if you haven't actually had a play with it, is very clever and a little bit disarming, because the answers it gives seem to come from a human. So not only is it quite intuitive, but it's also mostly correct. Not always, but mostly. In fact, they've given it law exams, they've given it physics, astrophysics, medical exams for 4th and 5th year students, and it's been getting a pass mark. And reading it, if you didn't know it was from an artificial intelligence, it literally seems to have come from a human. Now, I do plenty of examples in the segment I was doing, asking it questions about Thailand, asking it to make up limericks and answer riddles and all sorts of things, and it was disarmingly correct. Let's go on with this story, and the chatbot's success can be attributed to its ability to comprehend and generate human-like language by understanding and responding to a diverse set of natural language inputs trained on a massive text database or dataset. So the interesting thing about this is just GPT-3. It's been around, I think, for about 9 months, but it's certainly just come to prominence, and there's hundreds and hundreds of videos on YouTube about it. You really should have a look at it, because it's the next step of AI, in that it's now got to a stage where you're not really sure who you're talking to, and it does seem to be very, very human. What are we going to see with GPT-4, which apparently is just around the corner? The story says ChatGPT is an invaluable tool for a wide range of applications, such as natural language processing, machine learning, and data analysis, thus giving sleepless nights to many tech titans. Now, I can guarantee that there's already a number of publishers, certainly one here in Thailand, that does a lot of rewriting of articles, that would be using ChatGPT as one of their tools. I mean, it rewrites articles very, very well. And if rewriting articles is part of your business model, then I can guarantee, as sure as night follows day, that they'd already be using ChatGPT to rewrite articles. Now, this story now from the Washington Times. Thai stuck. Cannabis market faces political uncertainty in Thailand. Thought this was an interesting international summary of what's happening here in Thailand regarding the cannabis market. And it says that Cookies, the popular San Francisco-based cannabis and fashion company, not sure how you put those two together, marked the opening of its first Asian franchise on January the 21st. And they had a Buddhist monk blessing, a Muay Thai boxing demonstration, and ceremonial drumming, all within sight of the US Embassy. And down the bottom there, yet the good times and the expectation of better times to come can't hide the financial risk Cookies and other would-be entrepreneurs face in Thailand's tricky and rapidly shifting cannabis market, and in the country's equally tricky political arena. So we already know that this whole cannabis issue is tied up with Thai politics. It started like that, and it's continued to get muddier as we've gone on. The cannabis bill won't get through Parliament before the end of this term. It's been rejected now 3 times, and the opposition parties have foreshadowed all the way along that they're going to keep on rejecting the cannabis bill. So with that, we go on to the rest of this story. The legalisation movement that attracted worldwide interest could be snuffed out if anti-cannabis opposition politicians win elections for Parliament and Prime Minister, possibly as early as May. That's absolutely correct. The next election at the moment, if the current Parliament runs its full term, will probably be on May the 7th. As in the US, legalisation of cannabis has been a stop-start affair, with officials hoping to cash in on Thailand's reputation for producing some of the highest quality pot on the market. Is that true? Be interested to know your comments if you've used some of the products from Thailand, if you think they are some of the highest quality on the market, with restrictions on distribution and sale that stop far short of a free and legal market. Indeed, I think many people are right when they say the genie's now out of the bottle, but there will have to be some sort of guidelines and laws that control what is currently a complete wild, as people call it, a weed wild west. So both distributors, cultivators, investors, retailers and users all will need some sort of guidelines, but it's going to be at least a few months away until a new parliament becomes elected and they decide what they're going to do with the cannabis and hemp bill. And with that, I thank you very much for tuning in on Monday's TNT, the 30th of January, only one more day. Where did January go? Just disappeared. Thank you for watching. We're back to doing our 15 to 20 minute programs Monday to Friday. Nick will be back on Saturday and Sunday. We'll also have some guests in this week. Don't know who they are. Tried to line up guests. People say yes, then they say no. Tomorrow I'm actually off to Pattaya, but we are doing the program tomorrow morning, and I'll probably be doing a quick little segment from the immigration department up there in Pattaya. That's all coming up soon. Thanks to 5 Star Marine. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.